Ever wished you could just hit like a reset button on life? Just start fresh. Well, today's deep dive is all about transformation. We're taking inspiration from The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod.
Oh, I love that book. It's so powerful.
It really is. And it's not just some, cheery self-help book. Elrod's story is incredible. It actually starts with a brutal car crash.
Yeah, he went through the ringer with that one.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We're talking 11 broken bones, a shattered femur. He was even clinically dead for 6 minutes.
It's hard to even fathom. Right.
Talk about a wake-up call, though. Right?
It's the kind of experience that could really make anyone question everything. Like, what's the point of it all? But the incredible thing is, Elrod doesn't let this trauma define him. Instead, he uses it as this, springboard for growth.
He does. He actually argues that this near-death experience, along with other setbacks he faced, ultimately put him on the path to living intentionally.
It's like he discovered this hidden power within himself, the power to choose how to respond to life's curveballs.
Okay, so he doesn't just want us, up at dawn doing jumping jacks and chanting affirmations, right?
Not exactly. I mean, there might be some of that, but it goes way deeper. Elrod's core idea is that we rarely, if ever, outperform our own self-growth.
Interesting. So the Miracle Morning isn't so much about becoming a morning person, but about dedicating time to becoming the best version of yourself.
Exactly. Whenever that works for you, it's about making a conscious choice to prioritize personal growth.
Which is super interesting because he talks about this thing called the mediocrity monkey. What is that all about?
Okay, so picture that voice of doubt in your head. The one that tells you to hit snooze or that you'll start tomorrow.
Oh, I know that voice all too well.
Right. That's the mediocrity monkey hard at work. It whispers excuses and tries to keep you stuck in your comfort zone. And, it thrives on a lack of purpose, those moments where we view our actions in isolation without accountability or a dedication to personal growth.
So, skipping a workout doesn't feel like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but if you do it enough, it shapes you into someone who isn't committed to their fitness.
Precisely. Each choice, no matter how small, is a building block. It's shaping the person you're becoming.
It's like that saying, we are what we repeatedly do.
Exactly. And this is where the heart of Elrod's method comes in. The Life S.A.V.E.R.S.
Okay, yes. The Life S.A.V.E.R.S. Let's break that down. What's the first one?
It starts with S, which stands for silence.
Silence. Interesting.
Right. You might not think of silence as an action, but Elrod's a big advocate for incorporating silence and stillness into your morning routine.
Huh. I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a silence person, but I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah.
So how did Elrod get into this whole silence thing?
It wasn't always easy for him. He actually discovered the power of silence during a time when he was deeply stressed and struggling, financially. It was a lot.
So what happened? What was the turning point?
He went for a run, which he, get this, hated at the time.
Really? He wasn't a runner?
Nope. But something clicked during that run. He was listening to a Jim Rohn audio, and Ron was talking about how success is often attracted by the person you become, not the other way around.
Oh, I like that.
Right. And that realization, coupled with the silence of the run itself, it just kind of hit him. He realized the importance of creating space for clarity.
I've totally been there. Some of my best ideas come when I'm running or just letting my mind wander.
Exactly. And that's what Elrod's getting at. He believes it's not just about the quantity of sleep you get, but the quality of your mental preparation for the day.
I can see that.
He spent years telling himself he wasn't a morning person and just felt exhausted no matter how much sleep he got.
Yeah, I've been there too.
But he found that dedicating even just a few moments to silence through practices like meditation can significantly reduce stress and enhance focus.
It's like hitting the refresh button on your brain before the day even starts. So good. Okay, so that's silence, the first S-A-V-E-R. What about A?
A is for affirmations.
Affirmations. Okay, go on.
And this one, it really hits close to home for Elrod. After the accident, he had significant short-term memory loss. And, he found himself constantly reinforcing this belief that he had a bad memory.
It's that self-fulfilling prophecy thing, right?
Yeah.
The more you tell yourself something, the more you believe it.
Exactly. And Elrod knew he needed to reprogram his thinking. So he started using affirmations, repeating positive statements that affirmed his ability to remember.
So instead of saying, I have a bad memory, he'd say something like, I have a great memory.
Exactly. It's about consciously choosing the thoughts you want to hardwire into your brain.
And it worked.
It did. His memory gradually improved, and he started incorporating affirmations into other areas of his life, too. It's really all about shifting your internal dialogue from one of limitation to one of possibility.
So instead of I'm bad at this, it's I can learn and grow.
Exactly. And he even provides this fantastic framework for crafting powerful affirmations. It starts with getting really clear about what you truly desire. But you don't just think it, you have to feel it.
Feel it.
Okay, I'm listening.
Engage all your senses. Let's say your goal is to buy your dream house. What does it smell like when you walk in? What does the grass feel like under your feet? What do you see when you look out those windows?
Wow, I can see how that would make it feel so much more real, more attainable.
Right. It's about making it vivid. Okay, so then, once you've got that, you dig deep into the why behind those aspirations. Why is this goal important to you? That underlying motivation, that's what fuels you.
So it's like having a mission statement for your goals, right? It makes them more than just bullet points on a to-do list.
Yeah.
But then what? Then you shift from what and why to who. Who do you need to become to make those visions a reality? What qualities do you need to embody? It's about internal transformation, not just checking boxes.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're clear on your goals, your motivation, and who you're striving to become. What's the next step in crafting these affirmations?
Now you get crystal clear on the actions you need to take to align with that ideal version of yourself. Be super specific. What will you do? How often will you do it? And when? This is about turning intention into tangible action.
No more vague promises to yourself. It's about getting stuff done.
Right. And then finally, Elrod recommends incorporating inspirational quotes or philosophies that resonate with you. Think of them as anchors to reinforce your desired beliefs.
Like surrounding yourself with positive reinforcement, reminding yourself of your potential every single day. Wow, we've only covered silence and affirmations, and my mind is already buzzing.
Right.
There's so much to unpack with these Life S.A.V.E.R.S.
And we've just scratched the surface. We still have visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing to explore. Each practice is full of fascinating insights from Elrod's personal journey.
That's why I love these deep dives. So much wisdom packed into one book. But for now, we're going to take a quick pause. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to unravel the rest of Elrod's Miracle Morning.
And we're back, ready to dive back into the Miracle Morning with Hal Elrod.
Let's do it. We've got a lot more to uncover.
We do. We covered silence and affirmations, so what's next on our journey to unlock our best selves? All right, get ready to visualize your success, because V stands for visualization.
Visualization, okay.
And this isn't some, mystical out there concept. Elrod breaks it down into practical steps you can actually use every morning.
See, this is where things get really interesting for me because, honestly, I've always struggled with visualization. It feels kind of, woo,
I get it. It can definitely feel that way.
But Elrod actually used it to help overcome challenges after his accident, especially when it came to writing his book. So he must be onto something, right?
He paints this picture himself, like vividly imagining the entire writing process, the flow state, the joy of creation, even holding that finished book in his hands. And you know what? It totally worked. The book became a bestseller.
So it's not just about picturing the end goal, but like embodying the journey as if it's happening now.
Exactly, and that's just one example. He actually lays out a super simple 3-step process for incorporating visualization into your miracle morning.
Okay, all right, I'm all ears. What's step 1?
First, you got to get crystal clear on what you want. But here's the key. Don't just think it, feel it. Engage all your senses. If your goal is to buy your dream house, what does it smell like when you walk in? What does the grass feel like under your feet? What do you see when you look out those windows?
Man, I can see how that would make it feel so much more real, more attainable.
Right. It's about making it vivid. Okay, step 2 is like mental time travel. Fast forward and see yourself actually accomplishing your goals. And Elrod encourages visualizing both small wins, like finishing a work project, and those big long-term aspirations, like that dream career or a healthier lifestyle.
So it's about experiencing the feeling of achievement now, even if the goal is like way far off.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's powerful stuff. And finally, step 3 is where you connect the dots between your vision and your actions. Visualize who you need to be and what you need to do to reach those goals. It's about aligning your daily choices with your ultimate aspirations.
So it's not just passive daydreaming. It's active mental creation linked to concrete actions. Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here. All right, we've visualized our success. What's next? Time for E.
You got it. E is for exercise. And this one's non-negotiable for Elrod. Even just a few minutes each morning can make a world of difference in your energy levels, both physical and mental.
Oh, I can totally get behind that. I know I feel a million times better after a good workout, even if it's just a quick jog or something.
Right. And what's so fascinating is that Elrod wasn't always a fitness buff. He actually shares his own transformation story in the book. He went from, like, despising running to completing a 52-mile ultramarathon.
Wait, 52 miles? That's insane. How did he go from hating running to that?
I know, right? It's incredible. He started small, setting realistic goals and focusing on consistency over intensity. He talks about those early runs, how he could barely make it a mile without excruciating pain, but he stuck with it, gradually increasing his distance week after week.
It's about building that mental toughness, that ability to push through discomfort.
Yes, exactly. And he also highlights the importance of finding support. He ran that ultramarathon with friends, and he talks about how their encouragement and accountability helped them all cross that finish line.
It reminds me of that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Okay, so we're moving our bodies, visualizing our dreams.
Yeah.
What's next on the Life S.A.V.E.R.S. agenda?
Time to feed our minds because R stands for reading.
Reading, yes. Okay, this is my jam.
Right. And Elrod isn't talking about skimming social media feeds here. He's a huge proponent of dedicating time each morning to reading actual books, especially those focused on personal development and growth.
Oh, I can already relate to this one. There's just something about starting my day with a good book that sets a different tone.
Right. It's like food for the soul. And Elrod argues that even just 10 pages a day can make a massive difference over time. Think about it, that's roughly 18 books a year.
Wow, that's a whole library of wisdom. I'm going to have to up my reading game. But how do you actually retain all that information? I know I've definitely been guilty of reading something and then completely forgetting it a week later.
That's so common. Elrod emphasizes active reading. He talks about highlighting key takeaways, making notes in the margins, and regularly revisiting those insights. He even created his own Miracle Morning Journal, specifically designed to help readers actually apply what they learn.
It's about making reading an experience,
Yeah.
right? Like a conversation with the author,
Right.
rather than just passively consuming words on a page.
Yes, exactly. You got it.
Okay, so we've nourished our minds. Now it's time to write in our journals. Is that what S is for?
You got it. The final S is for scribing, which in Elrod's world means journaling. And, he's very real about this one. He actually admits that even he struggled with journaling at first.
Really? The journaling guru himself struggled with journaling.
He did. He'd buy those fancy notebooks full of good intentions, only for them to end up gathering dust on a shelf. Sound familiar?
Hey, I have a whole drawer full of half-started journals.
I feel that.
Yeah.
But Elrod discovered the power of journaling through a very simple practice: gratitude. He started writing down things he was grateful for each morning, shifting his focus from what was lacking to what he already had in his life.
I can see how that would be a game changer, starting the day with a heart full of gratitude instead of a to-do list full of anxieties.
Totally. And it goes beyond just listing things you're grateful for. Elrod also recommends using your journal to review past entries, reflect on lessons learned, and make new commitments based on those reflections.
It's like having a conversation with your past, present, and future self, all in one place. Okay, so we've explored all 6 of the Life S.A.V.E.R.S. Silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. That's a lot to pack into one morning.
It can definitely seem daunting.
It does. Like, where do you even find the time?
Right. But Elrod provides a solution for those who are short on time or maybe just starting out the 6-minute miracle.
Okay, tell me more about this 6-minute miracle. It sounds intriguing.
Basically, it's a condensed version of the Miracle Morning where you dedicate just 1 minute to each of the 6 practices.
Oh, wow. So you just get a little taste of each one.
Exactly. It's a fantastic way to experience the benefits of the routine, even if you only have, a few minutes to spare.
That's such a great reminder that even small, consistent actions can lead to big changes. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just start somewhere, even if it's just for 6 minutes. Okay, so back for the grand finale of our deep dive into the Miracle Morning. And, I'm ready for that extra push, that accountability to actually make these Life S.A.V.E.R.S. stick. You were about to tell me about the 30-day challenge, right?
Yes, the 30-day challenge. This is where the magic really happens. It's about transforming those Life S.A.V.E.R.S. from a once-in-a-while activity into a non-negotiable part of your routine.
Okay, so it's about consistency. I get that. But 30 days, that feels like a long time.
Elrod actually addresses that. He's a big believer that true habit formation takes consistent effort for closer to 30 days, not the 21 we often hear about.
He debunks that 21-day myth right away, doesn't he?
He does. And he emphasizes that it's those last 10 days of the challenge that really matter, when the initial excitement wears off and you really have to dig deep for motivation. Remember Elrod's story about pushing through the pain of those early runs?
Yeah, those excruciating miles.
It's like that. The 30-day challenge is about proving to yourself that you have that same grit, that same determination when it comes to your own personal growth.
It's about showing up consistently, even when it's hard, and proving to yourself that you're capable of change.
Exactly. And Elrod doesn't just leave you hanging with this challenge. He wants you to make it your own, to personalize it.
How so? What does he suggest?
He encourages you to reflect on which element of the miracle morning resonates most strongly with you and then build from there.
So find what lights you up and start there.
Exactly. He actually poses a really powerful question in the book. He asks, what if you could design your ideal morning, a routine that sets you up for success in all areas of your life? What would that look like?
It's like giving yourself permission to create a morning routine that truly excites you.
Yes. It's about taking these principles and customizing them to fit your own unique needs and aspirations. Maybe you're energized by a 30-minute HIIT workout, or maybe you thrive on just 10 minutes of gentle yoga and meditation.
Right, it's not one size fits all.
Exactly. The point is, it's your morning, your miracle to create. And, Elrod recognizes that embarking on a journey like this can feel daunting, so he reminds readers that they don't have to go it alone. He encourages everyone to seek out support, whether it's from friends, family, or even the online Miracle Morning community.
Oh yeah, the power of community is huge. There's just something so encouraging about knowing you're not the only one who struggles with the snooze button or forgets to journal.
It makes a huge difference. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's fitting to leave you with Elrod's closing thought. It's a simple yet profound question. What if your morning routine wasn't just about getting through the day, but about creating a life you truly love?
It's about recognizing that those first few hours, often overlooked or rushed through, hold the potential for incredible transformation.
Yeah.
It's about taking back control and designing a life that aligns with your deepest values and aspirations.
Precisely. So what will you choose? The power to design your ideal morning and ultimately your ideal life is in your hands. Go out there and create some miracles.
That's such a great note to end on. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the miracle morning. It's definitely inspired me to rethink my own morning routine. And for those of you listening, we'd love to hear from you. What resonated with you most from today's episode? What small step can you take today to start creating your own miracle morning? Share your thoughts and insights with us on social media, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, make it a great day.